Namaste. What does namaste mean? When we perform this gesture, we are essentially saying that we see the Atma in the other and we respect them for that. We consider them divine. We not only have respect for Atma in all living things, plants and animals, we also respect rivers, oceans, and mountains. In fact, this is an essential part of Hinduism respect for all our surroundings and our life. My name is Anishka Dangwal, and today I will be presenting my findings on whether Vedic philosophy is secular, what the world understands about this philosophy, and what the Vedas really say about the topic of secularism. Secularism, a definition. This term was defined by George Holyoake, who is a British writer. This definition is the one that is used in everyday life and is referred to when talking about the matter subject of secularism and is also universally accepted. According to Holyoake, secularism involves decisions or morals that are devoid of any religious influence and do not allow for the consideration of an afterlife. He stated that the only thing that should be determining your choices are present life consideration. Now, how can the Vedas be secular when not a word of this definition can be applied to our scriptures? The Vedas do not fit the definition of secularism, as its philosophy revolves around Atma, Moksha, reincarnation, and the afterlife. Ayam nijaha paroverti ganana laguchet sam udar charitanam tu vasudev kutumbakam. This phrase, originally from the Upanishad, says that a realized person does not see the duality of himself versus others. The whole universe appears to him as a manifestation of the ultimate reality. Its use, both in Panchatantra and in the Hitopadesha, are in the context of some not very wise folks using this term to justify letting their guard down and getting ultimately eaten because of this. Its English translation is only ignorant or narrow minded people think in terms of me, mine, not mine, while for the broad minded one, the whole world is like a family, like own. This phrase does not mean that all religions and paths are the same. Much like the examples in the Hitopadesha and Panchatantra, many Hindus constantly interpret this phrase incorrectly. Indram Mitram Varunam Agni Mahor Ato Divya Sasaparno Garutman Ekam Sad Vipra Bahuda Vadanti Agnim Yama Matrishvana Mahu. This phrase translated into English means they have styled him, the sun, Indra Mitra Varuna Agni, and he is the celestial well-winged Garuthmant. For learned priests called one by many names, as they speak of Agni, Yama, Matrishvan. In this Rig by Maharishi Dartamas in the first mandala of the Rig Veda, 164th Sukta, and the 46th Rig, when the author suggests all are the same, he's not talking about other gods from other pantheons and other religions. They are strictly referencing the 33 known Vedic devtas. The verse also states that the divine is omnipresent and immanent in all things in the universe. And not to mention, this is a concept that would not be accepted in Abrahamic traditions and would be considered blasphemous. Another Rik by the same Rishi. Vayananasya dahaninaha parushe chedarushaha kadachan parjigato adevayoha. The English translation is, I ask you to withhold your favor from those two godless persons, from the rich man who acknowledges you not as his lord, is chary of gifts at sacred rites, and from him who rarely praises the gods. The speaker here is a supposedly secular poet. Well, if the Rishi is propagating that all religions are the same, then why in this phrase is he disclaiming a patron because the Vedic rituals aren't done properly, and this man doesn't seek the blessings of Vedic gods? There's not even a trace of all paths lead to the same, all religions are equal, truth is one with many names, etc. It's thus clear, very clear in this Rig, that secularism is a backward projection of modern ideas right into the Vedic period. Yet another Rig by Rishi Dirgdamas. Akarma dasyorbi no amanturanya vrato amanoshaha tvam tasya mitra hanvadarda sasyam dhamya. Finally, the same author refers to a tribe of people called Dasyus, who, according to various historians, are identified with Proto-Iranians, Proto-Zoroastrians, and Proto-Sakas. They clearly worship non-Vedic gods and are akarmaha without proper rites, and Anyavrata have very different ways of performing religious rites than us, and the extreme, amanush, not human. The same Rishi again discredits a group of foreigners from Central Asia called Dasyus just because they don't follow the Vedic gods, and so he considers their path inhumane. So it's kind of hard to believe that in the Ekam Satrik, he was just saying all paths are the same, when in this one, he clearly discredits that statement. Now, Sarv Dharm Sambhav, a term first coined by Mahatma Gandhi, and it has zero Vedic reference. This phrase finds no mention, and I mean no mention in any Shastras. Even though it literally means all religions are possible, in its popular altered usage, its meaning is understood to be all religions are the same. Sri S. Radhakrishnan, second president of independent India, gave this legitimacy to this phrase of Gandhi by equating it with the Rig Vedic phrase Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Badanti. We've already seen that this Rig Vedic phrase itself was never intended to mean all religions are the same. So why was this done? This was done to make minorities appeased and to maintain India's then secular status as a nation. Let's evaluate Vedic philosophy for secularness. Vedic philosophy has 6 Ashadharshanas, meaning the way or vision to look at philosophy. They all aim to help humans remove the layer of Maya that clouds their minds, such that we reach a stage where we achieve eternal bliss, also known as moksha, which leads to the freedom of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The 6 orthodox schools of thought or darshanas, whether atheistic or theistic, or even ambiguous about the existence of God, do believe in the need for a spiritual predisposition for the understanding of the meaning of life and to achieve moksha. They profess that logic and reason alone is not enough, and one needs to look at the Vedas for guidance and inspiration. In that sense of word, they are not secular in outlook. Do Vedas teach secularism of the kind which prescribes all religions and paths to be the same? Based on my argument stated above, they clearly do not. So, how has the modern Hindu view evolved? If the Vedas never said all religions were the same, then how did Hindus come to start endlessly repeating this term? Let us look at some of the plausible reasons as cited above. So, back in the day, many local religions and schools of thought were being assimilated into Hinduism, making it the renowned philosophy and religion it is today. This process happened over many millennia, and the assumption was that eventually all these beings from these diverse paths and backgrounds were would realize the true nature of Atman and the desire to attain moksha. But now, when Hinduism was exposed to other religions such as Christianity and Islam, it wasn't just possible to assimilate these religions. Why? Because of their opposite views to ours. They are directly opposing schools of thought, and the religions themselves had nothing in common with ours. So then it took a stance of live or let live. Basically, another way to say tolerance, or even accepting the right to the worldview. Vedas do not prescribe that all religions are the same, but it appears that modern Hinduism's relaxed opinion and dealings with other religions and their philosophies is very likely based on the initial assumption that Hinduism would just assimilate them into its vast diverse fold, like it has done and did for many millennia in the past. One scholar hit the nail on the head. Swami Vivekananda's words from his work suddenly made everything clear. He takes a very broad view and assigns the same weight to two extremes of religious past, namely a fetish and versus the highest level of realization. Knowing that all the religions, from the lowest fetishism to the highest absolutism, means so many attempts of the human soul to grasp and realize the infinite, each determined by the conditions of its birth and association, and each of them marking a stage of progress. He clarifies that beings belonging to these two extreme paths are at different stages of progress, and that their Atma will eventually realize the absolute truth, aka moksha. This confirms that Vedic philosophy does not prescribe that all religions or paths are the same. In summary, what are the Vedas saying? Each Atma strives for moksha, to merge with the divine, and the mind or intellect may not be aware of this. A layer of Maya covers the mind from the truth or end goal, and all of us will ultimately get there, even if it takes near infinite rewards and even those currently following the wrong path. And like Swami Vivekananda ji pointed out, each being is on a different point on their multi-birth journey toward merging with the divine. No matter how far or ahead they are of us, they're still of divine essence, so they are all worthy of respect. That, in essence, is the modern Hindu view of other religions. And the Vedas do not say all religions are the same. All beings are at a different point on the same journey towards moksha, and that they will eventually get there, even if they are currently on a path that may be taking them away from the goal. Conclusion. Vedic philosophy does not really say that all paths of religion are the same. It does prescribe divine quality to the Atma of all humans and animals. It does ask its adherents, aka followers, to respect everyone. Even though those paths that are currently not headed towards moksha, given a long enough time scale, these paths of Maya will be removed, and all human Atma will eventually become one with the divine. As we have seen, Vedic or Hindu philosophy is not secular in the sense that the word is commonly used. It does differentiate between valid and invalid paths, even though it does say that even those currently following the incorrect path will eventually get moksha, even if it takes a large number of births and rebirths. Thank you for your time in listening to my research on the topic of our Vedas Secular. Namaste.